morning, everybody. This is a great one. As you all know, rentals are an incredible way to get your business rolling, which I think is one of, a lot of brokerages shy away from it because it's not a very high earning thing for the brokerage. But I've always been a proponent is as long as you're in the rental game and you're getting wins, it motivates you to get to the sales component. It gives you cash flow. It doesn't make you go into your finances or your savings while you look like you want to while you build up your confidence and experience. You want to have cash flow. And also, a rental client is always more likely to refer you a sale than most clients that do sales. So Andrea is somebody that's going to get on here and teach you guys how she crushes it. Young person, not even from this country, and is kicking butt in the real estate game. So a lot of respect to her for how far she's grown in such a short time. So listen to her. And then we have Jenny there holding it down, also a realtor like us, part of the lifestyle family, but she runs our lifestyle title side of things with Jimena as well. So all great people to have on your corner. Listen to them how to process rentals. There's ways of doing it seamlessly and how to lead generate. That's all I have to say. Kick some butt, guys. I'm going to get back to driving. I am the best driver in lifestyle, so I don't want to mess that statistic up. Love you guys. Let's do this.
Okay, is everyone on? Let me see how many people. We have 39 people on. All right, let's start in a minute.
I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Welcome everybody. Nice to meet you. Yeah, here. Jenny's gonna be with the questions, or we're gonna have other screen here.
No, it doesn't turn on. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to introduce myself. Jenny, like George says, Jimena and I, who's also on the recording, we run Lifestyle Title, which is our in-house title company that George is a part of. So any, business that we can work together, we really value and appreciate. And we not only handle purchases, but we also handle rentals, and this is part of our training today. We're really going to speak about how we can generate rentals and leads. And then towards the end, we're going to show you the process on how you would work your rental transactions with us at Lifestyle Title. Andrea here, we're both with the Pause Group. She is one of, like George said, one of the biggest hustlers we know. She posts rentals, on Marketplace, and she just, she really does look for business, and most of her business came from all these rentals that she first started with. She's killing it. Now she's getting all these purchases. Again, these renters either refer you listings or sellers, or they eventually become buyers. So this is definitely a good way to start off your real estate career if you aren't, don't know where to start, how to get buyers or listings yet. Rentals are definitely one way to start, and they're easy because everyone is always renting as well. Yeah, so we're gonna start the presentation with next slide, sure.
Yes. So thank you, Jenny, for the introduction. As she said, this is a good way to start your business. When you first get to real estate, you actually you don't have too many clients or flow. So Facebook Marketplace saved my life because I wanted to get full-time into real estate. As George said, not many people talk about it because everyone thinks that you get to real estate and you get buyers straight, and it's not like that. So Facebook Marketplace, I gave me a lot of leads, clients that now there are no buyers. So the first source that I use is Facebook Marketplace. You can post any lifestyle listing. It's super easy to find them. You just go to the MLS, you put our code. I'm gonna put it here. It's LSRI01.
Also, if you guys have any questions throughout this training, feel free to either write it on the chat, because I am looking at the chat, or you can just simply unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yes. So the other source is also past clients or referrals. Like if you were working in an office before. You have to tell everybody you are a realtor, that you can help with the rentals. Because when you start, like, maybe they don't trust you to handle the sale of the property. So you can say, hey, let me do your rental. Or if you know somebody that wants to rent a house, I can help you. Also, family, friends, social media, and Zillow. This is something that I actually did it like 5 months after getting my license. I used to call for rent by owners. And I told them, hey, I'm not gonna charge you the listing side, but if you let me, I can post the pictures that you have already on Zillow, and then put me as the property management. And I will get all the calls from the leads, and I will just get you the tenant. They might accept, they might not, but you can try to. So this is the process. We're gonna be on details, but once you get a prospect through Facebook Marketplace, the way that I do it, I like to ask for their phone number and then I call them, because there's a lot of scams through Facebook Marketplace, and that's the way that I can get trust to my clients. The first thing that I do is I ask them when they want to move, because you don't want to start like sending listings or doing all the work. And if they want to move on October and we're on July, it's too far from the moving day. I usually do it when, for example, we're in July. I am talking to clients that they want to move for August, by the end of July, 1st of August, middle of August, because how their market is, usually a rental, they only last 2-3 a month in the market, depending if they have an association or not. When you know that we have requirements for rentals, the client might be like a little afraid of sending social bank statements and everything. So what I do when I jump on the call, I ask them, hey, when do you want to move? The requirements are 3 months, 2 months, whatever the requirements you can tell. IDs, background check, and credit report. You don't want to say that you want a clear background check because you are on violation of the rules. So I only say, hey, you need a background check, you need a credit report, you need a bank statement, you need your ID. And if they're okay with that and they say that they have the months to move in, then I send them a list of the properties. And after the first showing, I ask for all the documentations, because put yourself in the position that somebody from Facebook Marketplace are asking for your bank statements. You might not have the full trust to send it. So that's why I like to meet them before. But before meeting them, I pre-screen them through the phone.
One question, Thomas is asking, what's the secret for not getting banned from Marketplace?
So what I do is I only post once a week, usually the Mondays, and I post maximum 5 properties. When I first start, I want all the business. So I usually post like properties around $2,000, maximum 2,500. But now that I am not doing so many rentals as before, I post like for 3,000 or more. In my first year, I did more than 45 rentals. So I did a lot, and I never got banned from Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if maybe you're posting like every day, because Facebook Marketplace might see like as weird. I recommend you to post once a week and then at the beginning of the week.
Okay, what do you do if your clients are missing documents or a social security number?
So it depends. I will get to the process later and details, but when I ask them for what they're looking for, and if they tell me that I want a townhouse or an apartment, they usually have associations. So all of the associations, to say 90% of them, they ask for social security. And if they don't have it, or they don't have like a good credit score, I tell them straightforward, hey, we need to find something without HOA, like multifamily or single family in different areas. So we put the process here, simplify. As I said before, we're gonna explain in detail, but once you get the clients, we jump on a call. That's the way that I do it, and I have been working for me. I send a list of properties, I schedule the showings, and then I ask for the required documentation. Once we pick the property, I organize all the documentation, either rental application. You have to read the MLS remarks, because some brokerage or property management, they ask for their specific rental application. We have one in lifestyle that I always use it no matter what, because it makes my offer look stronger. Like previous landlord information, like where they work, how much do they like their earn per week or per month. That's something that have been helping me. Once I prepare the offer is accept, you have to send the executed contract to Lease for the escrow. This is really important. Jenny's gonna explain more, because if you get the client and the client's gonna move in August 1st and we are in July 3rd, I always use a title company to protect my client, because you don't know what happened in a month. And I rather the money for the first month stays in a title company. I always use left to title. So if something happens, we have someone in the middle to do the process for us. Once the escrow letter is received, wait for the 3 days before for the final walkthrough, and I send the divorcement form to title so they can give me the commission check for the listing agent or for the tenant agent.
That's bolded because we do want to make sure that 3 days before the final walkthrough, you do fill out the disbursement form and send it to us at Lifestyle Title to hold any delays for you to be paid on time. And just because of, and in beginning of the transaction, if ever anything does go wrong or a deal falls through or anything, that paper's already signed, you just make sure you do it 3 days before the final walkthrough. That's what I always tell agents to do, it just for everything to go smoother.
Yes, because remember, title is handling a lot of stuff, so 3 days is more than enough. So give them time to make the deposits. We have a question here. What do you do when client doesn't want to send certain documents early or disclose their income? That's why, because when I first started, I was looking like at the process on the internet. They say, hey, get the client and ask for the documentation. I never done that because they don't have our trust. So that's why on the second step, I put jump on a call. When you call them, I give my client trust. Hey, this is Andrea. I am from Lifestyle. I have a lot of properties in the area where you are looking at, whatever. They tell me what they want, and I tell them, hey, most of the house they ask for IDs, background check, income requirements, bank statement, pay stub. Are you okay with that? Okay, yeah, whatever. I like it. Once I send the list of the properties, when I meet them, they send me the documentation. That's how I do it. And it's how have it been working, because they don't have trust when you meet through Facebook Marketplace.
Okay. That's it. Don't.
Okay. Well, the initial consultation, you gather the details. This is usually when I call them, hey, where are you living? What type of property are you looking for? This is really important because depending on the property they're looking at, the requirements might vary. If they're looking for a condo, apartment, or something that has like a community like with pool and everything, they mostly have associations. So depending on that, I will tell them, hey, do you have a credit score more than 600? Yes, no, okay. Depending on that, I tell them where to look. Also, the location and the budget is really important, because if they have a tight budget, I'm gonna be really honest with them. Hey, if you want a house with a pool and your budget is less than 400,000, I'm gonna look up north. Are you okay with that? They tell me yes, okay, whatever. Or they tell me no, hey, okay, you won't get the pool, but you will get the location. You have to be really honest and educate your client, because it happened to me at the beginning. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get it for you. You won't get it. You have to be really realistic with the client, so you can fulfill that expectation. Because if you tell them, hey, yeah, I'm gonna get you a pool in Hialeah for less than $3,000, it's not gonna happen. So I'd rather be honest with the client and tell, hey, this is what you're gonna get, in a respectful way, of course. Determine the client's preference. Okay, this happened to me a lot because for example, I have this situation. A client wanted a house with 4 beds, and they wanted amenities too. And they had a pet. We found a house that they accept pets, and they have the number of bedrooms that they wanted and the budget, but they didn't have amenity of no or gym, whatever. I was like, hey, I got this for you, but you're gonna sacrifice this part for the budget. And you have to read your clients' priorities. If they want the parking or the pets or the bathrooms, but you won't get the other thing, you have to tell what's most important for you. And I also do it for the buyer, because sometimes the buyer says, I want this. What is more important for you? that you have a backyard, that you have enough bathrooms or enough bedrooms, and based on that, I send the list.
Okay, so we're just gonna answer some questions because a few people are asking, what kind of listings get most traction? For example, 3 beds, 3 baths at X amount. What kind of listings get most traction?
Sorry, on Facebook Marketplace, I usually get 3 beds because there's a lot of people that are living together, sharing rooms. I usually post more than 3 beds.
Okay, background check was prohibited to say. Can you elaborate? Can you please elaborate background check being prohibited to say?
You cannot say that you need a clear background check in order to get to a property, but that's one of the requirements. You need to get a report. Either it's bad or good, you need a report.
They have the right to.
Yeah, you have the
submit a
right.
report. You can't
yeah.
just tell someone like you need a clear one in order to be, able to rent this place. We just tell them, hey, a report is required for this certain property. Why some clients, once you send the list of properties, they're already working with a realtor and they contact them regarding the properties I sent. How do you avoid this?
So when I jump on a call, depending, I usually don't have these situations because I try to like schedule showing right away. And then when I meet them, I talk to them. I was like, hey, are you looking for more house with someone else? It's like, I tell them, this is my full-time job. I'm gonna help you. And I hope you are only working with me. Like it's something that you have to like come from yourself. I don't have like a really strategy for that. Just tell them, hey, I am going to put all the amount of work for you. And also, if I have all the documentation, it's not really common that they jump to other realtor because you already have everything.
Yeah, just like how she says, you wanna definitely earn their trust. Not only earning their trust, but I would also follow up with them. Even if they are working with a realtor, I've come across a lot of agents who've taken that client from the other realtor because they just followed up so many times and that one tenant or that one buyer is always like, you know what, like I'm willing to work with Andrea because she has been following up, like my other realtor probably already knows that I'm definitely going to use them, but because she's following up with me, I'm gonna switch to her, and then she ends up getting the seller or the rental. Let me answer
How do
one.
you, Andrea, how do you screen your clients? Like on Facebook Market, when I used to post a lot of, listings, and I used to get 100 messages. How do you screen your client knowing that they're the one that they qualify and all of that? Or do you just respond to everybody?
So I
don't know if everyone heard that. I don't know if everyone heard. Okay.
Yeah. So Jimena was asking me how when you get a lot of messages from Facebook Marketplace, how do you screen your clients? So I have a text that I'm gonna send later. I have on my notes. I put like, hey, this is Andrea Gomez from Lifestyle. If you want more information about this property, this is my phone number, or send me yours and I will contact you. The person that is really interested in renting, they're gonna either call you or send you the phone number. And then I just call them straight. If they don't respond, they're not really serious about it.
Okay, so you don't go on Facebook Market and reply on the message.
Yes.
You make sure that they call you.
Yes. So this is part of when either you meet them on the call, you explain this. I already said it before. The credit check and everything is not provided that you ask for these requirements. You only tell them that the lender asks for reports for credit, a background. You don't have to say, hey, you need a good credit. No, after either you find them an association or something, that's where you really explain what are the financial requirements. It depends on the property too. Okay, you scheduled the showings. When you I usually try to schedule all the showings for the same day, like when I did in the past. I had a client, they wanted to see like 2 or 3 properties. I tried to put all on the same day. So you try to close that client in just one day of work. That's why I don't like to show only one. I always say my client, hey, can you please pick at least 3 or 4, and then out of the 4, maybe 2, they answer me and I can actually go and see it. And then I just show it in one day. It's really important when you go to the showing that you know all the information, because you can either print the MLS page or you can have it in your phone, so you can, because a lot of rentals they include either the internet, the Wi-Fi, the water, the electricity, and that's something really important about making the decision of the property. The application process, as I said before, some properties or brokers that have a specific rental application as well. Before showing them, I look at the MLS remarks. It's really important. And if they don't have a rental application in the MLS, I always fill out the lifestyle one, because it gives a lot of information to the listing agent and to the landlord about my client, and makes my offer look stronger. You ask this to your client, and then what I do, I'm gonna show after, towards the end, how I send my offers. That's something I haven't learned for other rentals that I have done. I am now using help from ChatGPT. It's so easy and fast, and you look so professional. You just type like, hey, this is my client, I'm representing them. They're a family of 3, they all work, whatever. And the ChatGPT structured me everything. I also do it for when I send an offer for from my buyer. It looks awesome. And also you give more information to the listing agent, and it's easier. Imagine they'll have one email from tenant agent just sending like the IDs, everything all over the place. And then they have your offer, which is really structured in the body of the email, and the documents, they're gonna look for your offers first.
All right. Okay. Follow up, modern applications, yeah.
Yeah, and also I call the listing agent. It's really important. Hey, I sent you an offer. Let me know if you need any more information. And before sending the offer, depending on the property too, I call, hey, do you have an offer for hire? Hey, how many offers do you have on the table? Can you please tell me a little bit, so I can know the scenario, and in base of the scenario, I also can structure my offer.
Yeah, make sure you're on top of the listing agent too. Like when she bolts call listing agent, just they're probably receiving so many, rental offers and everything. Just make sure that, the listing agent knows who you are and how many times you're calling them, just so you can also get that offer accepted. Let's answer some questions. What platform do you use to get the background report?
I use the one in the MLS, which is my tenant screening, which is the orange one, and I also use Rent Spray. Or the thing that I don't, depending on the property, they might also ask you to run like the screen by their own platform. So you have to be really aware. But I usually do it through my tenant screening or Rent Spray. My tenant rental screening, the one from the MLS, is cheaper. It's $25, and Rent Spray is $39.
Okay. What features do you like in the property that you pick to post on Facebook? Is it price, house, look, amenities, area? Right here.
Like, how do you choose the listing from the MLS in order to post it on Facebook? Like what?
So what I do, I put the code of lifestyle, and then if I live in Hialeah, I work rentals between Hialeah, Doral, Miami Gardens. So I circle them out that I work with. It shows me the rental, the lifestyle house in that area, and then I look, hey, I'm gonna put 2 properties without association. I'm gonna put 1 apartment. I try to target everybody, like families that need 3 to 4 bedrooms. Also for couples that are looking for apartments, and then somebody with dogs. So I put like every type of property with different requirements, so I can target everybody.
What Eric asked is a good question, because that used to happen to me. You know how you don't put the address on Facebook Market? What do you do if they ask you for the specific address? Because sometimes the realtor's asking for.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have a realtor and they want the address to send it to the realtor. What do you do when they do that?
So when I send the message, I always the message that I was talking before, if they're a realtor that they want the address, they're gonna receive the same message. And if they don't call me, it's because they're a realtor. So I rather like just delete it, because you get a lot of messages. So out of 100, and I send everybody the same message. If I get a reply from 5, then I know they're really interested and they're not realtors. I never send the address. I just put like, if you're in Miami Gardens, Miami Gardens.
Okay, what do you do when the client wants to move by, let's say, August 1st, but the HOA takes 3 weeks to approve the application? Oh, Jimena answered that. They have to wait until the HOA approval, or they can look for another property without an HOA.
So this is really important when you have to call the association
I couldn't see a reply. It's hidden.
You have to really be aware about how long the association takes. Every association is different. So what I do, I call them and I confirm the time, because some leasing agents, they put 1 to 2 weeks, but it's actually 3 weeks. And we're like showing our client based of that time frame. So I do confirm with the association about the time.
Okay, Danielle is asking, I'm sorry, we're just gonna answer a few questions. Is it illegal to say they shouldn't have additions?
Evictions.
Every,
No.
but it's in the report.
Yeah, it's in the report, so I don't tell them, because if I see the report and they have an eviction, it's gonna be really hard. Or either they will have to put an extra deposit. I have worked with clients with eviction, and the landlord might ask for extra deposit. You have to tell your client, hey, since this is your report, landlord might ask for an extra deposit or an extra requirement, but no, you can say you can have evictions.
That's why you screen your client from the
Yeah.
beginning.
And how Section A rentals are handled. Yeah, that's another training. I personally, I haven't done any Section A, because I rather do what I know, because I know Section A takes time. There's people in the office that they only do Section A. It's a good business. So what I do, I just refer those clients to them, and they can refer other one to me. We're always helping us, and I just refer those clients. I just text on the chat, hey, who wants a rent Section A client? And that's all. We're gonna put that for the future training.
Yes. Okay, Elizabeth is asking, how there are sometimes people that list rent to own. Should I approach these people?
Yeah, absolutely. I have done a lot of those. Sometimes the property that they like, they are not usually going to be for sale in the future, but I do put on my CRM, hey, these people wants to buy in the future. So you kind of screen them again, like, hey, how much are you putting those clients in the rental? If they're going to pay more than $4,000 in rental, like, hey, do you want to know if you can get pre-approved, And if they can buy like right now, I just put them a note to be like following up, hey, how's everything going? Hey, because usually the people that they get to buy like in the middle of the lease, they're also like willing to break the lease and just pay like the deposit to get into a house. Just put a note next to them. You can also find rental on the MLS, but there are not many options.
What do you use instead of Rent Spree?
My rental tenant screening is on the MLS. It's one of the tools I'm gonna show you after. I like those reports because they take me eviction report, background check, and also credit report for $25. It's cheaper than Rent Spree.
Okay, can you send your text template here?
Yeah, I will send it at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
Who specializes in Section A rental? You can ask that in the chat, but I know somebody from the Miami Lakes office, he does Section A rentals, and we're gonna talk to them if he can do a training, so we can learn about it too.
Okay, one more question. What about in locations that listing agents do not pay enough commission, like $100? What can we do to get paid an appropriate commission?
So that's really important. When you send the listing, you also have to check about the commission, because in the MLS, there's like companies like Invitation Homes that they only pay like a flat fee. It can be $300 for a house of 4,000. I usually don't show that type of property, not only because of the commission, but because those type of company, they make your client apply and pay the application fee that it can vary from $50 to $200, and they don't give you like security that your client is gonna get the house. So, and those the application fee is not refundable. So before sending the list, I check on the commission, and because the companies that they usually pay that amount are like properties like Invitation Homes, like property management. And if you get a listing agent, you can call, hey, are you willing to pay more commission? You can call them and ask if you can get into an agreement too.
All right, let's finish this, then we'll go back to questions.
Lease agreement. Review lease agreement, explain terms and conditions, address any client concern or question. This is something that I really emphasize to do, because I deal with a lot of Hispanic clients that they don't know how to read English. So I I explain them the most important things about the agreement. Like, hey, you have to pay any repair that is less of $200. Hey, you have to pay your rent in these days. If not, you will get a late fee. Those are really important things that you have to discuss and make sure they are comfortable with, because the client can like be against one of the terms, and if they don't speak English, you can get in trouble because you have to explain them everything in the list. Moving preparation. So when I do the walkthrough, what I usually like to do is I take all the pictures and I save it on a Google Drive. What a Google Drive, because it doesn't take a storage from my phone. I have in a cloud, and then in the next year that are gonna move out, I have, hey, this is the way that I take care of my clients. Hey, I have all the pictures in this cloud. You just send them the link, and then you just compare so they can get the deposit back. I'm also gonna share you guys a PDF that I have. When I do the walkthrough, I print a form that I put, hey, steps when you're moving. Hey, transfer your FPL. Hey, you can USPS, the government mail service, they charge $199 for 6 months, and they can move all your mail to the new address. So I put the QR code. That's like a tip that I give to them. Hey, you have to change the water. I have everything on a PDF that I'm gonna share with you guys. And also for mobile logistic, depending on the budget and everything, there's some clients that I have been referring to Move You Home. That's owning house moving company.
Yeah, this is our in-house moving company. We Move, You Move, which George is also a partner of. And again, if you refer your clients to We Move, You Move, you earn a $50 referral fee just by referring your clients to use We Move, You Move. We Move You Home, sorry. Which is also a part of the pause group, she runs that, so her email, her phone number is on this flyer if you want to screenshot it or just message the group chat for her information.
Is the moving company only in Miami?
It's all of Florida. And once you need a quote, if you want to call directly for your clients, just reach out to her and she'll give you a quote right there. Or if your clients want to call her directly, she's on point with it. She'll pick up the phone and give you a quote right at the very moment.
You're gonna go over with a question in a few. So after you move, I follow, hey, is everything okay? Depending on the property and the property management or the leasing agent, they have like either 5 to 15 days to check the appliances, because you might not get like the full day to check everything because the clients are moving, whatever. Well, the next day, hey, the fridge is not working properly. In the walkthrough, I check everything, but things might happen. So I check on them and I follow up. Hey, is everything okay? You were able to do everything? Do you want something else from me? So you can give that extra mile and just make sure that you are aware of everything.
You're definitely building a relationship with your clients after this, and one of the best ways to keep them as a client, and eventually they'll turn into buyers, which they know how well you've been with them, following up with them, making sure they're comfortable. Hopefully in a year or two, they follow up with you and ask to purchase a home. And this is happening a lot with Andrea as well, with her tenants from the past.
Yeah, so I use a CRM and I put all the rentals that I did last year, and I was taking of people that the lease were expiring, but because also you have to check on the MLS because some commissions are renewable and you get paid if they renew the lease. So I put, hey, this client has a renewal commission. This client told me that they want to buy the next year. So before, like 2 months before the lease expires, I text them, hey, are you ready to buy? Let's get you pre-approved.
Okay, so let's answer a few questions. What do you do with a person who someone else told me that there isn't what they are looking for, $900 in Pine Hill? What do you do with a person?
Like they don't have the right budget. So I was explaining this at the beginning. You have to be really honest with the client, and you don't want to waste either your client's time or your time. So if they tell me they have like this budget, I tell them with this budget, this is what you're gonna get. And you have to educate your client too, because you are the real estate agent. You are the one who knows everything about the market. So you have to guide them about the prices.
How do you try to explain in an email offer when you're offering below listing price?
So before doing that, I call the listing agent, and I make them aware that I'm gonna send the offer for a lower price. And then I just do it with ChatGPT. I'm gonna show you because I have sent some offers below price, but I explain, hey, I am sending $100 less, but you are gonna get a client with good credit, with good income, a good family, with good recommendation that was living in the previous residence for 4 years. That tells you a lot about my client. So I try to not focus about that I am gonna send a lower offer, but I rather focus on how my client is and how good is.
Representing your client.
Yes.
Right. How do I do commercial lease? Is it the same?
Is similar, but this different. This is only about residential. We will have another training about commercial leases, but it's different. You get paid for the year of the lease, how many years the lease is.
From August 1st, the compensation will be paid by the buyer. How can we request this in order to get paid?
If the rental listing is also for sale, how can we put in agreement the property is sold? How can we can ensure official compensation is got to our client? So I put that on the additional terms, and I talk to the depending on who's making the lease. If the listing agent, who's usually the listing agent who makes the lease, I put in additional terms that my client would like to buy the next year, and I'm at their agent. That's also part of your follow up. You have to follow up with your client because they are not gonna give you commission if you talk to your client when the property is already closed. You have to keep following. Hey, remember, we put this on the additional terms because if you want to buy the property, I'm gonna help you. That's basically what I do. For the compensation, it is the same for buyers. What is gonna happen, you will have to call, it's gonna be a little extra work. You will have to call the listing agent. Hey, is your landlord paying commission? If so, how much is it paying? You will have to check with them. But also, I think it's gonna, we'll have to approach it in a different way too.
Wait, Arlette missed your answer. How do you try to explain in an email offer when you're offering below listing price?
Yeah, I already explained, is your
She missed
focus.
it.
Okay. You would rather focus on your client. Like if you're sending $100 less or $100 less, you don't like really focus on why you're sending the offer for less. You focus of my client. You're gonna get a lower offer, but my client's not gonna give you any nightmare. They have been living in the previous residence for how many years? They have good credit. They have a good background check. They don't have an eviction report. So you rather focus that they are getting a good client.
You want to represent your client, like they're going to be great tenants.
Yeah.
Rather than focusing like, oh my God, I'm gonna send it below listing price.
Yeah, because landlord rather have a good client and stable client than a higher offer. Trust me. Do you have more questions? No. Okay, let's move in.
Okay, so this is the title process. So once you, well, this is Jimena and I. This is our address, this is where we are located, but we do close not only for purchases, but we are able to do rentals anywhere in Florida. But this is where our headquarters is at. This is our email, this is intakeLS@newworldtitle.com. This is where you will be sending in any executed contracts or any contract to leases. Our phone number and our fax number. Jimena and I would be your point of contact with any title questions, whether it's a rental, a purchase, or any questions that you even need regarding writing contracts or offers or anything like that. This is why we do these trainings.
When you send the contract to lease, it's really important that you put lifestyle title in the part of the deposit and put acceptance. Because if you just put lifestyle title, you don't specify that as soon as the contract to lease is executed, they have to send the escrow. They have usually 3 days, but the sooner the best. So lifestyle title, after you have the executed lease, You send your client the wire instructions, or you can also tell them that they can come to all the headquarters to drop off either the money orders or cash or check.
Yeah, if they're going to wire, this is our wiring instructions. They just simply would have to call the office for the last 2 digits of the account number so we can confirm that there is a lot of wire fraud. So this will help us make sure that your client is wiring to the correct account number. And if they are going to pay by money order or cashier check, like I said, this is our office address, so they could either drop it off or you can drop it off or mail it.
Yes, what I also do emphasizing here, if they can do a wire transfer, specify that they can drop the money order or cash or check in our office, which is in Miami Lakes. Okay. After we have the executed lease and they already made the deposit, either wire or they came to the office to drop off the check, me as the agent representing the tenants, I sent intake an email, which is this email that is here. I sent them an email where I put super simple, good afternoon, I hope everyone's doing well. And I attach either the executed leave if I have it, or the contract to lease executed, whichever either of them works. And then I specify, hey, she already dropped the check at the office. Please let me know when you have the escrow letter. That's it. And after they receive that, they will send you a welcome email.
Intake will send you a welcome email, yes. It will be directed to all parties, so listing agent, you. The welcome email will have attachments, which would be the disbursement form, the escrow letter, and the copy of the funds that were, so if it was a wire, they'll send you a copy of the wire transaction. If it was if it was a check, they'll send you a copy of the check. And these are, go next. Oh, no.
This is how it looks, the welcome email when they send it to you. So they copy the parties involved, they put the rental file, the address, and they put, hey, our office has completed the transaction, and they put all the note that is really important that you know. Our rental have a $50 escrow fee. Jenny's gonna explain it for you, to you guys. It's really important.
Yes, so this our welcome email, they'll send you the escrow letter, copy of the fund, so this is the copy of the check that they dropped off, and then our disbursement form. Over here on the fourth line, you'll see that we are charging a $50 fee to hold the escrow, and just a rental processing fee, because these are fees that we're paying to disperse checks, bank fees, and simply our company, our title company is holding and working this rental process for you. A lot of title companies don't even take rental transactions because we don't make money out of them. However, because we're your in-house title company, George wants us to not only help you work your rental transactions, but eventually, also use us for your purchases. Again, we offer a lot of incentives for both, but the $50 fee is definitely just a processing fee. It is required. And if you have any questions regarding that, feel free to ask me, but that's the only fee that will be charged, and that fee could be added into the deposit as well. It doesn't have to be two separate checks, but it could be all in one. So it would be the deposit plus the $50. And then this is the disbursement form that we explained earlier on the training, that has to be filled out and sent 3 days before the final walkthrough.
Yes. So if you see here in the contract to lease, the rent for this specific case was 3,550, and then I put 3,600 because here I am including the $50 fee for title, because the tenants pay for that fee. If you want to give it to your client for your commission, you're more than welcome to do it, but you will have to pay the $50. So the reason why we're using a title company here, as we explained before, because it's a neutral third party. If something happens, someone in the middle has the funds, right?
Yeah, so definitely, if anything were to happen at the end of the day, you know, a title company holding escrow is more protecting than your landlord holding the check and running away with it. So it's definitely recommendable to use a title company. We hold it in escrow, so secure place, like I said, also reducing the risk of fraud or mismanagement over the money. And yeah, we know the legal laws and requirements. We review the contracts. If you have any questions regarding your contract to lease, just to be sure that everyone is, you know, working legally and no one's gonna
Yeah.
go back saying like, oh, well, you know, this wasn't written in paper, so I'm gonna keep the deposit just in case anything goes wrong. Same thing with dispute resolution. In case any disputes between the landlord and tenant regarding the funds, title company can help mediate the resolves in these issues according to the terms of the escrow agreement, like I just explained. Proper documentation, explain that too. We make sure that all documents related to the escrow and rental transactions are properly executed and stored, providing a clear paper trail. Timely disbursement, we manage funds, so, you know, per the terms as a lease agreement, we make sure that we don't disperse any funds if it doesn't say on the lease, you know, on the lease agreement. So if it says disperse on August 1st, like, we're gonna do it on August 1st. We don't just do it the day before or the day after.
Yeah. Also, if you send, like Jenny said, for this part, the proper documentation, if you send like a contract to lease that is missing a signature, or the lease that is missing something, title do tell you, because that happened to me, hey, you're missing in this part, this signature. So that's really cool, because you also, they also check the documentation that you are sending to protect you and your
Mhm.
client. Well, she said the professional management.
We want to ensure smooth transaction again, and then same thing with payment, you know, once you do the final walkthrough, and you pick up the checks from whoever's holding the checks, you get paid the same day with us. Also making sure that you submit this form 3 days before walkthrough.
Yeah, what
let's see.
CRM do you use? I use Follow Up Boss right now, but we have in Lifestyle Lofty. You can ask, I think, Roberto, right?
I'm
For
sorry.
access, Robert Guzman for the access of
Yes.
Yes, that CRM is really cool too. But I personally use Follow Up Boss.
Okay, do they have to do the rental screening for every property they want to make an offer on? Pay for every screening?
No, you only do one screening, and that screening works for all the properties. So I promised you guys that I was going to show you how I send my offer and how I use ChatGPT to send them. How do I move this? Oh, second. Okay. Okay, let me go to ChatGPT. So I put here, hey, please structure me an offer. I am representing tenants. I do it when they're a family, so they can explain everyone's work and whatever. They're a family of 3 adults. Everyone is working. Sometimes put their name, hey, Carlos working this, Mari's working this. They all make more than 10K a month. All of them have good credit, clear background. This is for the email that I'm gonna send the listing agent. I usually put more details, like, hey, this guy's working construction, she's working whatever. I put all the details here, and then I send it, and then ChatGPT give me all the email that I'm gonna send. Yes. It's not working well. Let me show you one. I do this, this did ChatGPT for me. I try to put like, hey, try to write it like if I was me. And I send all the documentation in a Google Drive. Why I do this? Because I don't want to sell all the documentation all over the place. So I just create a Google Drive and I have all my clients' information in my cloud. And then I specify, hey, background check, bank statements, credit report, eviction history, IDs, and then it's easier for the leasing agent to look at my client's documentation. My first offer, I used to send like all the documentation so all over the place, and then once I had a listing and somebody from other brokers sent me the offer like this, I was like, I need to do it because me as a listing agent, that was the first offer that I picked because everything was organized.
Yes. You want to make, it makes your offer look stronger, organized, and makes you look good. Someone's asking, can you please say all the forms needed in a rental transaction just to make sure?
Yes, I'm gonna send to you. Give me a second. I wanna show you other one. Mm. This I did it with ChatGPT. So if I'm working with someone else, I try to introduce me and the other agent. And look, and I also highlight where they move. I put this in the body of the email because the listing agent wants to look, hey, I have to offer, this wants to move by July 1st and they wants to move by July 20. They're gonna look at your offer first. So you want to highlight if you have a moving day that is soon. And I put the Google Drive link, and then separately I attach the contract to lease. Also, if you want to send offers to multiple rentals that I have done, this is awesome because you just copy and paste the document and you don't have to attach in every email that you sent.
Okay, can you please say all the forms needed in a rental transaction just to make sure?
What do you mean with forms? Like the requirements?
Richard, do you mean like what forms you need for title or what forms you need in order to present an offer for a rental?
And I want to
Present the
show
offer,
you
to
how.
present the offer, so right here.
Yes, so I sent everything. This client, I didn't do a rental application like I always do because they had an amazing income. The listing agent didn't have more offers, so she wanted me to send the offer straight like right away. So I put the background check, which I got it from my rental tenant screen, which is the system from the MLS, which is $25. And this is how it looks. I put for everybody. Everyone older than 18 should have a background check, an eviction, and credit report if they have social. I just had a question. What do you do for background check if they don't have social? So what I do, I send them to the police station physically. It's $5 the report, and they can get the report either with a passport, either with a ID from whatever country they're coming from, or with the driver license.
So police station, if they do not have a social security, and if they do, we could just do it on the MLS link.
Yes, I put the bank statement. She had a lot of like issues downloading the bank statements. That's why I put a lot. She sent me one by one, and then I put the credit report and then put emission history. I put the beginning what the document I'm sending so they can like go to the same like part. For example, if you see background check is along with the other background check for the people, and the bank statement is all together, and then eviction history is all with like the two of them, the IDs, and the job verification letter is something that I add if they have like office job. I also add that so my offer looks stronger too.
How do you deal with Section 8? Again,
So we talk about like I have never done a Section 8 because it's a lot of work and I rather do like what I know how to. We do have agents here at the office that they handle Section 8 rentals. We're gonna have a training about it. And also if you have a Section 8 client, don't say no, just talk to us, right to the top, hey, who wants to do a Section 8 rental? And there's people that they only do Section 8 because it's a lot of work and have to know how to do it because you're dealing with government paperwork.
Yeah, don't ever deny anyone who's coming up to you with vouchers, Section 8, or do you have any? Let them know, even if you don't know anything about Section 8, just let them know that you'll get back to them, but you're willing to help them. Be sure that you do if in, in that case, but there's always people that know more about Section 8, and eventually we'll have a training more regarding Section 8, because that's a whole different rental process. But don't feel free to like write on our chats, anyone, because there is a few people here that do work with Section 8.
Yes, so if you see here in my unit of Drive, I have like all the clients that I have done since I am using Google Drive. And this is awesome because I also can transfer this to my CRM. And I have all the documentation for everybody here. I just put the name and it's easier to organize all the documentation. Where do you get the eviction history? When you run that report through the MLS program, they give you the eviction report. You get the eviction report, credit history, and background check. I'm gonna show you one. Alberto Alvarez, I think, was one of my first offers that I did. This I did it with ChatGPT to look how everything was. I actually got this offer accepted because I explained everything, but look how I sent my documents. It was so different for what I am doing right now, because if you see, even that I put the names, it was like all over the place. So that's why I do the Google Drive right now.
Chelsea wants to know if you'll do a training on the Google Drive and how you stay organized.
Yeah, I can do it really quick right now. It's not like a big deal. If you are here, I put new folder. I put my client's name, Maria Gomez. And if you have like more people,
Okay.
if you put more people, just put the name here, whatever you put, create. You put here all the documents. Make sure that when you put share and you put send link, you have to put everyone with the link. Or you can add like the listing agent email. And that's it. You put all the documents here. And then you just copy and paste the link.
And if you have any questions regarding that, Andrea is very helpful and very responsive.
Yeah, I'm
If you
gonna put
ever-
my number here.
She'll leave her number. You can text her, you can send her a message through WhatsApp. She's been very helpful with, even when I first started with my rentals, I'll go up to her and ask her like, hey, well, like, what's the process? She's very, very, very helpful and very responsive, and would love to help you guys start your rentals in any way that she can, even if it's marketplace. She's really good at the marketplace on Facebook, which I've asked her so many questions about. And Marisol wants to know if you can send her your text template as well.
Yeah, text me so I can send it because I don't find it right now.
Like I said, ask her any questions, ask her what she
My
does
number is here.
to send her text templates, anything, if you want examples of her emails that she sends with offers, if you want an example of her offer, an offer that she sent for a rental contract, a lease, she's willing to help you go through it. Same thing with us, that title, me and Jimena are willing to help you not only with your rentals, but your purchases, how to write offers, or any questions that have to do with any of the contracts. But we thank you for attending our training, and if you have any questions, our phone numbers are there. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. If you have any question, just text us. We're more than happy to do it. We're gonna do it in Spanish soon too. Let's get it. Remember that you can make these renters become buyers either in a year. I have dealt with a lot of rentals that they have a good budget to rent like 5,000, more than 4,000. And I try to pre-approve them because most of the time they can afford a house.
Yeah, these renters don't know the process of purchasing. They've been renting their whole life. You as a real estate agent as well, give them knowledge on what are the processes to purchase, because eventually they'll become buyers and they know they got your knowledge and your tips, and they'll go back to you, or you can prepare them for the future. Hey, if you want to buy, this is what you got to work on now. And then a year later, they'll come back to you to purchase.
Yes.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.